Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about the Real Utopias project that I imagine a lot of you are working on. I thought I would take this conversation outside just for a change of pace, since you're all probably inside working and everybody needs to be outside a little bit. Here's my neighborhood. Yeah, kind of a mixed bag, but I like it. I know my neighbors. I like them. One neighbor to my left has every kind of cactus you can imagine somewhere in her yard, and the neighbor to my right is a cat lady, and I say that affectionately. There's 8 or 9 cats living at her house at any given time, and they keep the roof rats away. All right, so I have received a couple of questions from you by email about whether or not it's really true that I am okay with you submitting something other than a written report for the Real Utopia project. And the answer to that is yes, and you need to remember a few things to make sure that if you do it that way, it works. And I actually encourage you to do it that way for a couple of reasons. One is it breaks up the tedium. 2, for some of you, you might find that it is actually more fun to do something besides a written piece of paper. And 3, people learn in different methods, and whatever you're most attracted to is probably the thing that you're going to put your most, committed, invested self into, and you probably will get more out of it that way. So here's the thing, though. You have some very specific questions that you need to answer, and not only me so that you can get all your points, but also your classmates who are going to be reading through this, and particularly your classmate who will be critiquing you, need to be able to see or find or hear or the answers to the specific questions that you have been asked. And that might be a little tricky in a non-written paper, but it's doable. So somebody was talking to me about doing some kind of a visual collage and wondering how they would do that. Well, I can think of a couple ways, but don't be limited by what I'm about to say now. If you can think of a better way, that's great. You could group visuals that go together and answer a question in one section of the collage and put a label on it. But probably you're going to need to do some clarification beyond that because people can't really guess at what you're getting at. You might want to do a bullet point thing, or you might want to do a little video explaining what it is that you've got in the collage and talking about how it answers the questions that you asked. What else could you do? Well, that's actually 3 in 1. You can use labels. You can add something written that is not, like lots and lots of work in paragraphs, but bullet points that explain what they're seeing in the visual. Or probably the easiest would be to just turn on your video camera and explain your visual. But visuals can be very powerful. They can be amazing tools to tell a story. And so if that's what you want to do, feel free. Again, the main thing you need to remember, whatever it is you do, a PowerPoint, a collage, whatever it is you decide to do, if you're not going to do a writing, is that we have to be able to find the information that answers the questions that you ask. You remember your inquiry plan is going to be right above your actual presentation. Somebody will need to be able to look at your inquiry plan, see what the questions you were looking for answers to, and then find them somewhere in your presentation below. So yes, be as creative as you want to be. Just make sure that you give me enough information that I can give you all the points you deserve and have earned and worked for, and that the other classmates can actually figure out what message you're trying to tell them. That's it, and have a good time with it, and I'll see you on Canvas. That's Lucy.